All right, it's the Dad and Buried podcast based off the popular blog and social media character
Perhaps you
persona, Dad and Buried.
Dad and Buried?
My sidekick. Pete, you mind?
No, it's okay.
You know what? I'm being honest here.
I just really trampled all over that intro.
Who cares? It wasn't very good anyway. So this week we're going to be talking about birthday parties. And as usual, you can almost every topic we choose, you can say the hell of right before you say the name of the topic, right? The hell of pet moms, the hell of birthday parties. That's what we're doing this week. Before we get there, though, we want to do some housekeeping, acknowledge some of our Patreon supporters.
Yes.
We have a bunch of cool levels. I promise we're getting some merch together.
Yeah.
My sidekick is really going to kick up his efforts.
It's actually been a little bit more complicated than I initially thought, but we'll get you guys.
This is where legwork comes in, right? Elbow grease.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thanks, right? Mike. Yeah, good point. I hadn't put the
so even without the merch, which we promise is coming, we've got a handful of supporters in the single dad tier.
Yep. Chris
Coleman. I am bad at these names.
Straight up.
Dava Tuttle and MS Babayan. Did I do it?
Supporting us through Anchor. Yep, you did
it. She said that you're good at pronouncing her name.
Yep, that's correct.
And also that you recognize her name was Mary. Mm-hmm. Because you're kind of a little creepy.
Yeah.
She called you a lurker, and I was like, I think it's more of a stalker.
Yeah. Well, I had noticed that she had also commented on your Instagram, so that's because we review.
You know that's why she's a Patreon.
Yeah, exactly.
She's committed.
She knows what's up.
She appreciates us. We appreciate her.
We
appreciate Barbara Geiger, Funky Fee on the dad bod level. Julie McCarthy, my old colleague, who clarified. I said that when her comment was that she was shocked this didn't suck.
Oh.
What she said was she was impressed this didn't suck, which is slightly more positive, more complimentary.
I don't know.
I'm impressed. She's not shocked because she didn't think it was
definitely
going to be terrible. It's definitely, that's what I'm saying. It's a little backhanded, a little less backhanded than the shocked one.
Boy, she must have really known you.
Exactly. And on the world's greatest dad tier, we got Sarge. I'm not going to do it this time. Cole Wiedemeyer, Mary Williams, Mom Party of Two, who's been a vocal presence. She's in my alternate side parking lives that I do on Tuesday and Wednesday mornings. Sometimes. Every single time. Because I have to double park for street cleaning.
Yep.
And I bring my kid to daycare, and then I come back, and it's too early. And Mom and Buried has gotten a ticket for being double parked too late. And I'm thinking if I double park too early, like 20 minutes before the street cleaning comes, some enterprising traffic cop or whatever they're called, transit, what are they called? Traffic cop. Is it?
Yep.
Well, give us a ticket. And that sucks. So I sit there and then I give the people what they want with a little live one-on-one session with me or, 12. There's usually about 12 people on there. So 12 on one.
Those 12 people.
And every single time I have to explain what street, like why I'm doing it, what alternate side parking is, what double parking is, what street cleaning is, what a city is, what America is, all this stuff. A lot of these people really just don't get it.
Right.
Right.
A lot of them just are bots or sex bots.
So what I'm saying is Mom Party of Two has become a vocal
Except
participant.
for Mom Party of Two.
Which we appreciate. No, she's one of the smart ones. I'm sorry to imply otherwise. It was mostly Pete's fault. If you want to go to Patreon and throw us some cash, it's going to help us create the merch that we're eventually going to create.
But it's not a blocker. We're just, but I think what will happen is what we'd like to do is get more equipment so we can have more interviews and guests. And
people have been clamoring for some guests. I'm not going to lie to you. So, we've gotten some specific recommendations.
Great.
And I've got a good network of people. Mimosas with Moms we're going to have on at some point.
Great.
Maybe return the favor. The Dad Experience, I think is that what it is? Or the Dad Venture podcast. Hey, both of them. You know what?
All of them.
We're equal opportunity friends with dads. And you can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Overwatch, Stitcher, TikTok, all of the podcast.
But you can go to TikTok. Imagine
there's been some funny stuff on there. There's the new Vine, right?
It is
TikTok?
the new Vine.
It's the new Vine.
It's the new Vine.
And you can watch us on YouTube, which my brother says he does.
Yes.
My brother says he does what Pete does, where he plays the video and watches it. And I was like, no wonder we're not close.
Because he's a millennial, like me.
He's not a millennial. He's older than me.
You know what? He's a millennial at heart.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're all millennials at heart. What are they known for? Like being lazy?
Destroying
when actually
industries.
they're very good at multitasking and are actually pretty upwardly mobile.
Yeah, and really trying to make
the
world a better place. Yeah.
They're better emojis than I am. It makes me feel insecure about myself.
As opposed to the older gen. Come on, give me a break.
Yeah, those fuckers. Yeah, baby boomers, go to hell. You fucked us all.
You really have.
So before we start with the birthday parties, we got a lot of your comments. Last week we covered play spaces or playtime at playgrounds, play spaces, play dates, and we got some comments. One was shitting all over your suggestion that cool dads who overplay are the most annoying thing in the world.
Yeah. You were shitting on me.
I was shitting on you then, and now people are joining me in taking a shit on you.
Yeah, that's right.
Just never forget, they're my fans first, and if they become fans of you, it's purely incidental.
Please,
right?
No one's
and accidental.
Yeah.
Besides MS Babayan. God damn it! Why do I keep walking myself into these names I can't pronounce? It's like a compulsion.
What's wrong?
I don't know. I'm gonna start calling her Mary from now on.
Okay, fine.
So MK Stiv, which is how I'm choosing to pronounce that one, says the most annoying thing is moms on Facebook thanking their kids for, and I quote, choosing me to be your mommy. Give me a goddamn break. Vomit emoji. Yeah. And I gotta say, I couldn't agree more with MK Stiv.
Yeah, it's too
I don't
much.
know that it's the most annoying thing of all time. It's definitely more annoying than what you're saying.
You know what?
It's really insane.
I like that she goes there and just calls it the most annoying thing, because that's something that I feel like I would definitely do.
I don't like when somebody says they're blessed, just in general, but in particular about their kids.
It is
I met your kid, buddy.
It's
not a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a fucking disaster.
You're a mess.
It's a tragedy.
Your life is a mess.
Right?
Yeah.
Sarah Dawn chimed in, and actually she was talking about one of our previous ones about the difference between living in the suburbs or in a city. And she says she lives in a small city where the transit system is shit and she can't drive, which, there's an opportunity to better yourself there, Sarah. Give it a shot. So while I think the park play place is torture, we don't get out much. I feel like a recluse in the winter, so I pretty much live outside in the warmer months. Playing with them is the worst. Go make some friends. But Mom, you don't talk to other people. It's called she's quoting The Simpsons here. It's called the double standard, kid, one of the bedrocks of parenting, which is true.
That is true. We haven't really talked about that.
About double standards? About like being a hypocrite around your kid?
Like, come on, eat those beans. Yeah. You're like, would you like
eat
some
them?
beans?
No, I don't have to eat them. I ate them when I was your age.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
how
done
I'm
eating those beans.
Still
Those
survive.
things are gross.
Yeah, exactly. It's not all fucking fun and games when you're a little kid.
No.
You got to lay the foundation for some shit.
Exactly.
But I appreciate that. And I also, did you notice that I said recluse, which is the proper way of pronouncing that? A lot of people think recluse, but it's recluse.
Okay.
Nate is shaking his head in admiration.
In disbelief.
And I edified him.
Just stop with these
all right.
words.
So, and Sarge, who's one of our most loyal listeners.
He's our hype man.
He's upset that I haven't been wearing my headband enough.
Yeah.
And he noticed that the room is getting hot because we have a little AC window unit we have to turn off because it's too loud.
I mean, you guys can hear the BQE in the background, so that's because we have a huge hole in the window.
But if we put the AC unit on, they'll just hear the thrum, the steady thrum
of the AC.
Yeah. And Sarge kind of wants to see the headband, and I think a lot of people probably feel the same way.
I don't think so.
No, you don't?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you know what? I think we'll agree to disagree. I'm going to bust it back out. The summer months. Got to do some yard work. Throw the thing on. Take a live. Hey, hey, peeps.
Keep that shirt off, though.
I don't take my shirt off in public. You serious? God. I have a dad bod.
Please. Your body just doesn't know how to quit.
All right. So we're getting into birthday parties right after this. Okay. We are back, and as promised, we're going to get into birthday parties. Now, this has actually been on the docket for a couple of weeks because I got an invitation in the mail that my brother's daughter, his only child, was having her first birthday over Memorial Day weekend, which we just had. So my family and I, we went up. The Berrieds.
Those are the best kind of birthdays.
Went up. The 1-year-old. Well, so this was the debate, and I think I said that to you beforehand, that I wasn't sure if he was going to have like beer and wine at the party.
You weren't sure?
I wasn't sure. Like, he didn't say anything. I didn't ask him. I didn't want to ask him.
You're like, let's go up to Connecticut, unsure whether there's going to be beer at this 1-year-old
unsure,
party.
Right? And Mom and Buried wants to know. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not asking. I want to experience it in real time, whether it's true or not.
Oh,
and
you didn't
plan on
like
talking about it on
cat,
this.
You didn't want to see.
Yeah, right.
You didn't want to ask whether
I wanted it.
Okay.
It seemed impossible that he wouldn't, but the more I didn't know, the more possible it seemed that there wouldn't be.
What kind of animal would have a 1-year-old's birthday party
without booze? Yeah, or any kid's birthday party.
Yeah,
but especially 1-year-old, because it's not for the 1-year-old; it's for you. You're celebrating the fact that you survived the first year of parenting, and that the kid survived. Right? Kid doesn't know. The main thing the kid gets is his first piece of chocolate or cake or something, right? When they hit 1, you can supposedly do that. Yeah. So we went to this thing. I'm happy to report that there was booze,
good
beer,
liquor.
No
just
liquor.
Chilled bottle.
Beer. Well, it was the middle of the day on Saturday.
Okay.
It's a hot day. Outdoor park.
Oh, at the park, huh?
It's my hometown in Connecticut, right? It's a small little town hall center. Not quite. It's a little bit of a park. Barbecue, like tables, you can barbecue and picnic and all that shit.
Yeah.
So they brought a grill, and one of the people works. One of my sister-in-law's family members or something has an affiliation with the place, so was able to like open the door for the bathroom and all that shit. Yeah. So they don't really have a yard, right? And like it's like us in Brooklyn. Like we only last year, maybe the last 2 years, we held the birthday party at our house, like for our kids.
Yeah.
And the park seemed pretty easy this time. Like what I saw, I mean, I didn't have to do any of the cleanup or the setup, which is the one part that sucks.
Yeah, but like, was there like a playground type deal?
No,
was it just
wide open space. But there weren't that many kids, right? There were my kids. There were a couple of kids who had their bikes who were riding around. Yeah, okay. There were big balls and a tiny little ball pit for like the babies and toddlers.
Right.
So there wasn't a playground. You didn't have to worry about kids. Like it was wide open space. You could see the kids wherever they were, all that shit, right? Fairly hassle-free.
Well, 1 year they're like crawling and walking. Some are walking, some are crawling.
Well, this kid was in a high chair or being held the whole time. The birthday girl, yeah.
There you go. There's a nightmare right there the entire time.
Well, yeah, but in the high chair or they have one of those little stroller things that you can roll around in, where you it's like a walker for babies.
I know.
So I hate having the birthday party at my house. I also hate having a birthday party somewhere else. And I don't know. I know we've talked about it. So you did not the opposite, but you went to a facility.
So
not just outside like we did, because you went to your own birthday party. I went
to a birthday. I was invited to a birthday party. It was a 5-year-old.
Were your kids invited or you were invited?
I was invited personally to a 5-year-old's birthday party.
This is creeping me out.
And I just sat in the corner. It was fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Mm-hmm. Just staring really hard.
I was at the park one time, and he asked me, and of course I invited
the
myself.
Kid asked you.
Yeah.
You're like, your son asked me, Bob. Check yourself.
Yeah. Don't just sit back down. Okay, buddy?
I think the kid knows what he wants.
Yeah.
The 4-year-old. 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah. Don't you, Tommy? Don't you, Tommy? Don't you, Tommy? So... this was my son was invited to this birthday party. It was a 5-year-old birthday party. It was at a bowling alley.
So loud.
It was
bowling alleys are loud.
It was that's interesting because there was a point at which my son, who's not yet 5, who's almost 5, was holding his ears because they were playing music. Because they were just playing like really loud music.
What kind of music? Cardi B.
Actually, it was like sort of 90s grunge. Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got something out of it, I guess.
Yeah, like The Man in the Box by Alice in Chains.
Something like it was like those
some sacrilegious lyrics in there. It's
so,
good for kids.
but here's the thing about this. So this bowling, I mean, this was a pretty big.
How many kids at this bowling alley?
So first of all, an ungodly large number. They way over invited. Did
they pay for all the bowling?
Yeah, they had no business inviting my son to this party because
there were too many kids and you were a fringe friend.
Total fringe. And I found a couple other dads that I knew and we were kind of hanging out, but like the attention span, like you can't get a 4-year-old to bowl for 2 hours. You can't, it just doesn't work.
Well, they can't. Was there candle pin or duck pin? Do they have
gutters? They have the gutter. They had the gutter things.
Yeah.
And the thing is
if anyone doesn't know, they lift up the like side little things for little kids so it bounces or ricochets. When I was a kid, they didn't have that.
Everybody.
They had duck pin in Connecticut, which is like smaller ball, not candle pin, smaller balls, smaller pins. Not candle pin, which is just a stand-up.
This was like a more modern kind of bowling alley, so they had like a video, and that's the other thing. They had like all these video games.
Okay.
And so
now your kids are distracted doing that instead.
Oh, really? Oh, because my son wasn't asking me to play video games for 2.5 hours straight.
Yeah.
Like, I want to play this one. And it's like
you have to hold. Sometimes you got to hold your kid up to be able to play those games if they don't have stools. So was that expensive?
Well, so I didn't put it on, but you could just tell. Like they had food, they had all drinks weren't included. There was a bar which I partook in, but it wasn't part of.
Did you get a lager?
Yeah, I got a
Pilsner.
Yeah, I got a tall boy of something, some Tecate or something like that. It's delicious. That's all you need.
Refreshing on a Saturday afternoon.
But the thing is that first of all, 4-year-olds need a shitload of help bowling,
doing everything.
It's very dangerous, not because for them,
like to drop the ball on their foot.
Constantly dropping the ball.
Any kids thrown overhand?
And then you know what they did? You know what these parents did?
Tell me.
They reset the bowling lanes and put every kid's name individually into different
Before
lanes.
everyone arrived or after you got
Oh,
there?
no, because they were half an hour late. So this was after we were trying
that must
to
have
like,
taken a half an hour.
the whole thing. It started like an hour late, and then it was 2 hours after that. And it was like, at some point I was like, God damn it, give me that goddamn cake, because we got to get out of here.
Oh, that's funny that
We
you
got to
say
get
that.
out of here.
So somebody said,
I can't take it anymore.
listen
it's
to
too
this.
much.
Somebody said, when you want the cake, but you have to wait 5 goddamn hours. Melanie Vineyard, when you want cake, but at the end of the goddamn 5-hour party. Parents were angry about this topic, and I love that.
The cake is it's like a ransom. It's just
they
like,
held you
give
hostage.
me
Or goodie
the
bags
fucking
too,
cakes.
like where you're like, there's no way I'm leaving here without something for my efforts.
Oh yeah,
They
just
held
give
you
me
hostage.
give me the cake so that we can get this whole thing done with. 2.5 hours was way too long to wait around for it, and then by the time
God,
they
man.
and then they like had this. It was too involved. It was just way too.
So
involved.
my brothers went a little long
Yeah.
because they started a little late too. But
Yeah.
you're in a wide open space. The kids are running around, and there was booze. It was fine,
was
right?
okay.
It was a little bit. It was just lower key, right? Which is fine. Like a
Yeah.
4-year-old party at a bowling alley, you're worried about like are there other customers?
There's place was packed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That-
and don't
that
worry
shit
about
sucks.
like not like your son's like over there crying because he doesn't know where you are.
So a lot of
He's the
people-
one who walked away.
like
Dickhead.
a lot of people like renting a place, and I can see the appeal. I know you do, but I wouldn't like renting a public place, just like a portion of it. Nah, man,
I'm by the way,
I'm not into that.
I'm
Rent like
into,
the Gymboree.
I'm into renting, and I'm going to give a big
I know
shout
you
out
are.
to Bounce You. Bounce You's my
So
favorite.
Bounce You, is that the
Bounce
one around
You's
here?
like
Yeah. I've been a couple of those.
Yeah, there's
Those
like,
places are depressing
Northeast.
though. Like the lunchrooms where you have the party is
It
really
is.
depressing.
but it is very depressing. But the fact that you've been jumping on jumpy castles or whatever you want to call them for the last for 45 minutes
Kids are
straight,
wiped out.
Kids are wiped out. Everyone's had a great time. These things are like actually genuinely pretty scary, and like it's a pretty fun time. Yeah, I mean they're huge. They're like
These kids are scary, you said?
No, the balloon
facility,
yeah, like
yeah.
these slides are huge and they're
Yeah,
super
some of them are
steep.
pretty big, yeah.
And like then there's like these climbing things where like they're at least 20 feet high, and
But they're covered in germs, those places, which
Yeah.
Jean Marie 1010 said, you get exposed to the plague. Meg McNick 619 said, my kids always get sick without fail 2 to 3 days after any party,
Yeah.
which is true when kids
Right.
hanging around kids. But those play spaces are just teeming
they're
with.
teeming with
And
life.
you're very germ phobic.
I'm not necessarily a germ.
You're
In fact,
a huge germaphobe.
Okay.
Huge.
So
You're like Howard Stern.
I am.
Or Howie Mandel. He's
Howie
another one.
Mandel,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
I'm-
he only fist bumps because he doesn't want to get you. You know what?
I'm actually the exact opposite. I have a
Get over
very
yourself,
strong
Howie Mandel.
immune system.
Yeah, but maybe that's because you're so scared.
What are you talking about? I've been talking about holding on the
You
subway
hate my
with just
sandals.
mouth.
You hate my sandals.
That's because
My
that's
flip
just
flops, my
really
rainbows.
disgusting.
It is not disgusting.
Wearing
It's fucking
flip flops in the
empowering.
city is
It's
so
empowering.
gross.
It's empowering.
Power
Somebody,
for
I
who?
did a story once.
Powering for
I did a
who?
story once, and somebody goes after I did it. Somebody goes, I could hear flip flops because my stupid feet
So
are going
gross.
slap,
In the
slap,
city.
slap. Oh, will you shut up
Do
about
you
in
wash
the
your
city?
feet every night?
Why would I wash my feet?
Because
They're
of all that
naturally
gro-
self-cleaning. Of
Oh
course, I
my
wash my feet.
So you
It's
add
like-
that
it's
to
so
your routine.
Stupid. Yeah, every night I wash my feet in the toilet, and then I brush my teeth with the fucking vomit bowl. All right, we're gonna talk about who's a gross person here in a minute.
Okay.
So, you like Bounce You. There's Monkey Joe's. Those places are all the same. They're
Yeah.
kind of fun. My wife
You know what it
almost
is?
broke her ankle at one of those trampoline joints.
But it's the ones that really like the Gymboree, the ones where it's like, okay, kids, you go play, and they play for a period of time,
Yeah.
and then it's all organized. And then you go to a different room.
Sure,
They have it all
but
set
those
up.
Rooms. We're gonna get to
Okay,
those
they're-
rooms in
they're-
a second.
the rooms
They're
are
so
what-
depressing.
okay, but you know what? I don't give a shit. It's a 2-year-old's
I
birthday
know.
party.
But there's no
3-year-old's
booze at
birthday
those
party.
places. It's the biggest drawback of renting a place, like Chuck E.
All right.
Cheese. Although.
That's a good point.
So L Furlong or I Furlong, I don't know what. It's probably
Yeah.
Eddie Furlong. Shout out to American History X.
Yeah.
It says Chuck E. Cheese is the worst. I hate those invites. As a kid,
yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese was fucking king shit. Like maybe now it's Dave and Buster's, but in the '80s, I loved going to Chuck E.
Yeah.
Cheese.
You start
Tokens,
gambling
arcade
early,
games. Yeah. 5,000
Exactly. Yeah.
skee ball tickets for a fucking pencil eraser.
Exactly.
But I think some Chuck E. Cheese's now sell beer.
They should.
And if you go to Dave and Buster's, you can definitely get beer. But
Dave
that's
and
for like
Buster's.
older kids, right?
It's older and
I'm not there
everything. Yeah, everything is like more expensive.
I remember I was on the school bus one year, and I was going to a kid's birthday party the next day, and I yelled "fuck" on the school bus, and Mr. Zioli heard me and stopped the bus and pulled over, and I got in trouble for using
He said,
profanity.
"Who the fuck just said fuck?"
And my parents threatened to not let me go to Chuck E. Cheese to the party. I think I ended up going because my parents didn't have a backbone, and that is why I don't have a work ethic.
Yeah. That's why you're currently unemployed.
Exactly. Thanks, Mom and Dad. So yeah, Chuck E. Cheese, all those play spaces, to me, I think they're kind of drab and depressing, and they're expensive.
Well, hold on a second. So this is you had someone who was saying it was talking about renting.
Oh, Get Up Angelita says rent the place always. It takes a huge hassle and stress out of the equation, which is your argument.
Which is my argument, which is I don't think the cost, it doesn't work out when you have it at home or in a park. Like the amount of effort you put into making the food, bringing the food, buying the food, if you're having it at your house, the amount of decorations.
At the place you order like 5 pizzas or whatever it is.
Exactly.
We do that at our house too.
I mean, usually these place space or whatever you want to call them, the renting a place, like the Bounce You, it all like comes as part of it. So the cake comes part of it.
Sure,
like
right. It's one-stop shopping, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can invite, there's like 12 or 13 kids you can invite, and it's all for a certain amount. And that it's the same amount of money, because I just did this for my 11-year-old.
Yeah.
We had a stay-at-home party where we kind of decorated.
Yeah.
I actually tried. I really tried, and it was actually kind of cool. We did like a heaven and hell theme. She wanted like a scary.
I went to one of those in college, right? And in order to get,
this is a little different.
In order, if you you have to go through all the levels. In order to go from hell to purgatory, I'd do a shot of tequila.
Yeah.
From purgatory to wherever, and then to heaven, you had to do shots. So it was really fucking
dumb.
dumb.
This is actually the same thing.
How many shots did
your
kids
Patron.
hit?
Yeah, you got to do 2 Patron shots before you can go. So, but just the amount of money we spent in decorations and in like this and like
it's not even
and the time.
I understand that, but it's not even the amount of money. It is. So my wife is like a very good party planner, like so much so that she's like dabbled in doing it, right? And she takes a lot of care in it.
I can attest.
She wants her kids to remember. Yeah, you've been to a handful of them. She's a fucking absolute nightmare to deal with in the lead up to this, right?
Like, we haven't talked about that.
She's just so stressed about the logistics and the planning, and she's so good at it. And I'm like, look, either stop worrying because it's going to be good, right? Or own the fact that like...
Or get into it.
Yeah, right? But I mean, she is into it, but then she gets me into it.
Yeah, she toes the line, and then instead of doing that...
And I'm not good at it.
She just lets it all come out directly on you.
So she's done... Last year she did... I don't think your kids... So she did Star Wars once.
Yeah.
All these fucking... She has like... She creates games, or she goes on like Pinterest and sees stuff. She's not like a Pinterest perfect mom, but she'll get inspiration. She did a pirate one where she created a map invitation and then had me burn the edges of it.
Yeah.
So it looked like old parchment. And then last year we did a Harry Potter. And this is where I come in, like... Aside from like manual labor that needs to be done, like I wore a cloak and was like a Dementor or something, and they threw like water balloons at me.
Oh, right.
Didn't
you get like whaled?
One kid was really going at my crotch. Like this kid, he's like the jock of my kid's group of friends.
Right.
And I mean, the kid's like coming up to you and he's like waiting and cocking his arm. Like it's nerve wracking. Like, buddy, chill. I have sciatica, which I didn't realize at the point, but I'm sure it was there lingering.
Probably because of that.
Probably because of that kid. I'm going to have to speak to his parents.
Yeah.
But I can't stand, like that's the plus for someone else handling it all, but my wife wouldn't do that. It's not as special. You're not in like a 1984 drab, colorless concrete building where somebody's giving you cold pizza.
Okay, but at the end of the day,
no offense to Bounce You.
They get presents, right?
Yeah,
they get presents. They have cake.
Unless they're doing a Fiverr party.
Yeah, tell me about this.
So somebody commented, Kate L9 said her kid, they just did a Fiverr party for her kid, so that instead of everybody having to worry about bringing gifts, which can get expensive, everybody who came just gave $5 to her kid.
That's really smart.
It is pretty smart.
Wait, no, and they would have... Okay.
And then the kid keeps the money and it gives it to the parents, and the parents use it to pay for whatever food they bought, and the kid doesn't get anything. That's how these birthday parties work.
Yeah.
It's the experience.
4 bags of ice. Do you know how much ice costs nowadays?
But you are getting less value, right? So instead of getting, 10 to 20, depending on how many kids you have, $20 to $30 toys of some kind, you're getting $10 to $25 bills, which is all significant.
Of which take up
downgrade.
A lot of space. That's
but my kid
favorite.
Doesn't need any shit. No kids need more shit.
My wife got one of my daughter's friends a birthday present, and I basically looked at her and I go, "Are you serious? We're going to be the biggest dicks in the world." It was the biggest thing you've ever seen. It was
like an
American
ostentatious display.
Yeah, it was like this American Girl like factory
Those things
or
are
something.
super expensive American Girls, aren't they?
I think it was the Target
knockoff.
The Target one.
What's that called?
I don't know, like Girl. Rebecca.
I'll allow it.
I don't know.
Rebecca, what?
I don't know.
Mrs. Miniver?
Something. And it was some sort of like, I don't know, library.
Miniver? It's not Miniver. It's got to be Mrs. Miniver.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know you don't. You're not very cultured. Even though this kid grew up in England, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, right. So
there you go, Nate. See, I told you he was impressed.
Literally, I go to hand this present over to the dad, and the dad looks at me like, "What the fuck is this? How could you do this?
This is too much. Give this to me like in the basement."
Well, why would you give me a present that is going to now take up a significant portion of my apartment?
We're in Brooklyn, right? And it's apartment living, and space is at a premium. So that's a good point.
So like a big obnoxious gift, I couldn't
believe
it.
Like the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier, like that would have been,
yeah,
it would have been worth it. It would have been worth it, but it takes up a lot of space. So my next door neighbor, growing up, got every toy he ever wanted in his entire life, right? So parents are divorced, shit happens. Yep. Jewish and Catholic, so they got Hanukkah and Christmas, but didn't go to church or synagogue. Wow. God, it really ground my gears thinking about it now. Yeah. So one year, this kid really wanted the aircraft carrier. Yeah. Really wanted the aircraft carrier, which is huge. And he got it like, here's the final gift. At the party, his mom gives him a little box, and he opens it, and it's like, the other box is in this room. And he goes, and the boxes get progressively bigger until he's led to the fucking aircraft carrier.
The garage?
That, of course, he got. Yeah, right. Where his brand new car is. Inside the aircraft carrier.
Exactly.
Did you see? I'm not going to bring that part up. So the other thing is what my brother did, right? And which we've done, which is go to a park.
Yep.
Which is like, it's combines doing it at your house and doing it at a place, right. Except the only thing you don't have to do is pay, but you have to carry all the shit everywhere. Mm-hmm. You have to do all the cleanup. Yeah, you have to order all the food. It's like doing it at your house, but I think,
but it's less because you kind of just throw it away in the city garbage cans. You know, well,
if you can, right? But the places we've gone, like they're off the beaten path. You can't drive your car down to them. You got to park on the street and then walk a half a mile into a fucking glen or a meadow. I don't know.
What are you doing in Ireland?
Is
this Dublin outside of
Dublin? There's meadows in Prospect Park.
All right. Is there a glen?
I don't know. I don't know the terminology of the topiary.
That's where all the
would that
tweakers hang out.
The tweakers. Yeah. Okay. So we did get a bunch of people talking about the cleanup, right? So when you do it in your home, and one of the main complaints wasn't so much about the cleanup after throwing a party. It was the cleanup at home after going to a party and getting a goodie bag.
Oh, yeah.
Get Up Angelita, hate those annoying toy gift bags that have toys with those awful sounds that she confiscates in the middle of the night.
Look.
Which is just good parenting.
Like, the goodie bags are basically just garbage that you bring home.
Yeah, so
but
there's a few exceptions.
But that your kids fight over.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, where's my ring? And you're like, what ring? It's like,
I don't know where her last name ends and her first name starts, and she's a loyal contributor to my lives and stuff, so I apologize. Pavanijai. I'm not sure. I know that she lives on Long Island. If anyone wants her address, you shoot me a note. So she says she loves birthday parties, but the only thing she hates are the tiny plastic toys that come in the goodie bags. Yeah. Kazoos, spinny toys, small yo-yos. And KT8857 says same thing. I hate goodie bags. Nobody needs more shit.
That nobody needs.
Jean Marie 1010 says the junk ends up all over the house. Tiny pieces that siblings can swallow, which is an issue for us. We get a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I will say, one of the toys that I really love is those little parachute men, like the plastic army men with the plastic parachute on them.
Those are good.
You unravel it and throw it in the air, and it hovers down.
Oh my god,
those are cool.
Have you ever?
They don't really work that well.
Have you ever gotten? Cool. Has your kid ever gotten slime in the goodie bag?
We've avoided the slime phenomenon for the most part.
It's the worst.
I have heard horror stories.
It's the goddamn worst.
We've had one or two cases. Like we've had Play-Doh, which I feel like is like slime is much worse than Play-Doh. It's like Play-Doh 2.0.
Slime is made with glue.
Yeah,
which loves to stick in furniture.
Glue does love that shit.
Yeah, it loves it more than anything.
If glue could think.
Yeah, right? It would make
like
itself into slime and have little kids playing with it and fight over it.
But at the parks, goodie bags, I'm trying to remember.
Well, they're not mutually exclusive. You can have
you can have it at that, but that's so much to it.
I remember.
Did you get goodie bags every time you went to a kid's party when you were a kid?
I think so. Yeah, I think that was it. But
it was exciting.
It was exciting to kind of get those.
Just trinkets, though. It's exciting is booze if you get there. Yeah, that's all that's exciting about it.
What I like is getting little mini booze in my kids.
Like airplane bottles
like
in your
my
kid's goodie bag? Oh, that's
Yep.
mine.
No.
The Goldschlager. Sorry, I know it looks exciting, but
you take the
Daddy's.
Goldschlager. I'll take this.
I'm not going near that. I had
Yeah.
a bad experience. I may have referenced that before.
I think I did too. But
nobody's not had a bad experience
on
with Goldschlager.
No, come on. There's only one type of experience to have on Goldschlager, and that is a bad experience.
I think that was involved in the Heaven and Hell party that I went to in Cleveland Circle, circa 1997.
Are you sure it wasn't just like the tea station, just like a regular
the tea?
place?
Yeah,
Like
right. I
it
was
just
waiting for the tea, and somebody handed me some Goldschlager.
Exactly.
I wish.
The Green Line.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Me and Pete both went to college on the Green Line on the T.
Yeah. Look at that.
I went to the better one though.
Did you?
In your face.
Goldschlager. Okay.
In your fucking face.
So let's close it. So we can all agree that goodie bags are horrible. There has been a couple times where someone's put like pencils and a pad of paper, and I was like, actually,
what is this
great.
for?
No, I think it's great. Pencils and a pad of paper. That's all you need. You don't need.
In 1987.
No,
You get one of those ET little spiral flip pads.
Yeah, that's great.
R2D2.
They draw on it for hours.
Nowadays,
and you bring it to like restaurants. You bring it out to restaurants and bars. Have them drink.
So here's a question that I don't know the answer
draw.
to. Do older kids, like if your kid goes to somebody's like sweet 16 party, is she getting a goodie bag?
You know what? I believe.
Is it like going to the Oscars? You leave with like an iPad.
You can't. No, it doesn't. It's not
a
quite
Cartier
like that.
watch.
But I think it's more slightly older skewed, and I can't remember exactly. Like hairband or something like hair bands or something like that.
Like Poison.
Like nail polish.
Like Rat.
Like nail polish.
Oh, you're saying fashion accessories.
Do you know what I mean? Like things like that.
I thought you were talking about Nate's favorite kind of music. Motley Crue, hairbands.
Hairbands. Yeah, you get
Twisted Sister.
Yeah, you get Twisted Sister as a going away present, and then they're really grateful.
Yeah, they needed somewhere to go.
They're like, thank you very much.
We're really at rock bottom.
Yeah.
So hold on, we haven't spoken about a couple of other things. So the presents that you have to buy, we talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
But Jean Marie makes a good point. Jean Marie 1010 that she likes when you get an invitation that specifies like not a Fiverr party, but like my kid likes trains or Lego. Right?
Yeah,
that's what they're asking for.
Yeah.
That's fine. That doesn't bother me. Like,
No.
would you? I guess maybe it's a little like presumptuous that you're gonna bring the kid a toy, but it's a birthday party. If it's not toy based,
yeah,
they would say that like don't bring toys, which those are great too. But she makes a good point. Like we don't know every kid, and it's better to get the kid something he's actually gonna like. And you can try asking your kid, hey, what is Holden at school? Like to play with, and your kid fucking know. He only knows what he likes to play with, and he just says that shit because that's what's on top of his head.
Yeah.
And then you disappoint your friend's kid, and then you're not friend with your friends anymore.
And
this may or may not have happened to me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's ever happened to you before.
I think I lost a friend because I forgot to get him a wedding gift.
Oh, that sounds like it could happen.
Yeah, it was like I got like the cold shoulder, and I'm thinking back in my head, I'm like, what happened? There's a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode about that where they forgot, and then they go and they try to give the really nice bottle of wine to the couple. They're like, nope, you've missed the deadline. It's only you have a year. That's the Miss Manners protocol.
That's fine.
And I think that's what happened. I didn't even try with my friend though, which is probably the difference. No wonder he didn't take me back. I didn't even try to get him something after the fact.
Screw that guy.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
There you go.
Right?
Now it's all better.
It's never too late to make amends.
That's true.
Oh, and I was worried about this at my brother's kids' party. Bentini80 says, do not open gifts with guests there.
Oh, yes.
That used to happen.
That's
when
so
I was
horrible.
a kid, I feel like that was par for the course. Like you'd be at Skate World and you'd sit down and you'd open your He-Man figure.
Yeah, no, what about... And then of course, you'd only focus on the ones that you really liked,
yes.
And then everyone else was like,
they don't do that so much these days, at least not around here.
It's better.
Well, it's definitely better. You don't want to sit through it, and it creates so much awkward energy.
Yeah,
it's not a baby shower where like the point is the display of the gift.
All right, here's what I'm proposing. You show up to a birthday party.
I'm already married.
Within half an hour, cake and happy birthday has already happened. Your choice. Presents are happening. Like your choice whether you stick around or not.
The drop off, like for the parent, yes.
Yeah. So if you're having a good time,
no.
Stay.
First of all, no. I don't like that idea one bit.
Why?
I don't want to show up and then have to stay for a little while, and then you can leave if you want to. That just creates awkwardness.
So cake right at the beginning.
Not fuck cake. I don't want cake. I'd rather drop the kid off than have cake. I just want to drop the kid off and not even go in the place. I don't want a hybrid. That's worse. Well, then it's like you have to make like awkward goodbyes or do like a French exit so nobody sees you leave. That's fucking weird. Why would you do that? You really want the cake at your friend's kid's birthday party?
My point is...
That bad?
No,
just go to the bar and get a piece of cake.
I want it to be over. I want the option to be able to leave At a point
I want
that's
the
not
option
2.5
to not have
hours
to
in.
go. That's the option I
Yeah,
want.
I
That's
don't
why
either.
drop-off parties are the fucking greatest.
Well, I'm surprised. Yeah, drop-off parties are good.
Somebody mentioned that here. Somebody said, Mom, Linda 1 said, I hate when it's a drop-off party and one or both parents stay. Guess what? You're going to hate Pete because he wants to fucking hang out.
No, I don't. That's
You were
the
just
whole
talking about
point.
how you want to be there for a little bit of time.
No, I said you completely misunderstood what I was
No,
saying.
you
You
didn't
get the cake
articulate it
done
very
early.
well.
You get the cake done early, and then the parents have a decision they make. They can either take
yeah,
the
I think
kid
that's
and go.
awkward. Oh, you can take the kid
and
with
go.
you to leave? That's
Yeah,
just
'cause-
rude. Now you're yanking your kid out before the party's over?
It's got we've
This is
finished our
strange.
transaction. We've presents has been
That's what
exchanged.
friendship's all about,
We've
transactions.
Yeah, I've gotten my goodie bag. We've gotten a little cake. Thank you very much. It's been a perfect day. Now it's time to move on. Half an hour, and if the party's worth it, we'll stay.
If the
it's
party's
not,
worth it, like
come
if there's booze.
I'm talking about this. Like I'm really thinking about this bowling party that was
So,
really pretty brutal.
Jay
I can't-
McConder, which may or may not be how it's pronounced, said alcohol must be provided if parents are expected to stay. It's the only chance I'm interested in sticking around is if there's booze.
I went to.
And if it's in your house and there's booze, that's a little weird. If you have like a back
What do you
porch
mean?
or something, it's just a little bit tighter if you're in somebody's house and there's
Oh,
a
I
whole
don't
bunch
care.
of kids around.
the
But
one
as
you,
long
that's
as there's booze, it makes everything better.
let's not forget
Everything.
Let's not forget that first birthday party where every single parent of their first 1-year-old.
Yeah. He's drunk off their
Well,
ass.
no, they basically over-invite both parents because their friend groups are all 1-year-olds as well.
Yeah.
So now instead of having one parent come, which now like usually happens when you have
double
5 and 6,
parents.
you have double parents. You have all these kids that can barely speak that
Can't speak at all at one? No.
they're babbling.
What is
but
this
they're-
kid, Doogie Howser?
Maybe, but
MD?
they're some are walking, some are, but they're into everything. So all you're doing is running around and chasing them, and you're in someone's apartment, and of course they haven't calculated the size, and so now you have like 40 people.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm
in
saying.
a tiny place, and one
And
time
it's very hot.
and it's so hot. And one time I remember I went to a birthday party, and they definitely did not have alcohol, and it was.
Did
it
you
was
leave
like,
them in Upper Decker in the toilet?
not just one, not just one. I left them.
Sorry, guys. That's the price you pay.
A whole deck.
So Stanford Mommy, who's a funny mom memer, you should check out her Instagram. She says, "Give me all the drop-off parties," which is exactly how I feel. They are the platonic ideal of kids' birthday parties. Is you can drop off your kid and bail, and you let other people do the same when it's your party. Yes, it sucks to have to. You are suddenly in charge of all these kids, and a bunch of people have said that. Like, it's awkward to suddenly be yelling at somebody else's kid at the party if you're the only parent who's still there.
Well,
If it's the party at your house or whatever, which sure, that's awkward, but that probably doesn't happen that much.
But generally, you can start to separate like the real dicks from like the.
Well, hopefully
most
they
people
haven't been invited.
Most people, well, no, most people have come with their manners. You know, they like a lot of kids are more well behaved at their friend's house than they are. At their own
well,
house.
they're certainly at school than at home
Yeah,
with other people.
and so
than
you know
with
we've had some pretty big parties where it's been solo, but like there are some people where you're like, hey, can you stop like banging my coffee table with that mallet? And the
well,
person's
Calgary
just dead
Dad
eyes you.
says one of the worst parts of birthday parties is screaming kids that aren't yours. So not screaming at kids that aren't yours, which is
Right.
what I took from his
Right.
comment the first time I read
Right.
it, which also sucks. But screaming kids that aren't yours. So he says never do it at home. It gets pizza grease on the walls.
Oh yeah.
And he mentions he hates themes, which, you know what? Don't marry my wife.
Yeah, don't marry her.
But some people have some good ideas. Like somebody said, like a backyard camp out where you do like s'mores and water guns, which is
You got
low impact. You need a yard that's not really happening in
and
the
that's
city.
that's a smaller crew. I mean, I think we're also talking about larger. I feel like most of the birthday parties that when
The younger the
are a
kid,
lot
the
are-
more people
yeah.
you invite because the kids aren't really making friend decisions on their own yet, right? So you're keeping the window open, casting a wide net.
Yep.
And then as they get older, the kids start hating other kids
Yeah, they
and
really do.
forming their cliques.
Yep. It's true.
So
That's-
this was
that's
funny,
a bummer.
Wrinkle. So C.R. Wilkinson says, when your kid is too nice and wants to invite the literal bully you've had to have meetings about at school. Like, good, I'm glad you're nice, but no,
Yeah.
I hate that
Yeah.
kid. We've had a situation like that where like my kid butts heads with some other kid.
Yeah.
And they've been to each other's parties. It's a really weird situation.
Have you ever had a conversation with the parents about it or
Yeah. They're just like, oh, that's what our kid's like. Cool.
upper decker time?
You're damn right. So hold on. I want to get back to one of my favorite comments on this thing. And I think, so this is from Holly _Hammond5. And I think that she has dropped something else, like just as kind of brutal once before. But she gets straight to the point about how she feels about birthday parties. Expensive, stupid, mandatory, and exhausting.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if she's talking about attending birthday parties, but all of these adjectives apply to both attending a kid's birthday party and throwing your own.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
Yep.
They're stupid. They're mandatory until you get old, until the kids get older, and they're exhausting. And I thought that was a really nice way of putting it. Bonus, it reminded me of the Saved by the Bell episode where they created anti-drug PDA or PDA. A lot of PDAs on that show too. Mm-hmm. Anti-drug PSA, where they have each of the cast members, like the way the commercial starts is they just show like Zach on the stairs, dumb. And they go to Jesse Spano, stupid. And they just say a bunch of harsh adjectives, and then Johnny Dakota's there to talk about how drug use isn't good. Because Johnny Dakota is a Hollywood star. He secretly has a drug problem that the kids find out about. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to date Kelly. And it's really awkward because he's got some substance abuse problems. And he should probably direct them head on. Very informative program. And Saturday morning.
Kelly's into deadbeats.
So. Kelly's into deadbeats?
Yeah.
Well, she was into the dude who worked at the attic, who was older. He's a college guy. Got fake IDs, went to the attic. He was cheating on Zach. Is this happening right now? You want some more?
A beautiful mind.
I do. I remember a lot of nonsense. It's and I don't remember anything important.
And a body that just will not quit. It should quit, but it doesn't know how.
I wish I were wearing my dad bod t-shirt. Maybe I'll wear that next time. Yeah. Maybe I'll wear a crop top.
That would be great. Oh, a football.
Yeah, a mesh half shirt. Doug Flutie, maybe. Doug Flutie. Yeah. Or Dan Marino.
Yep.
You could get a Patrick Mahomes. He's like the hot one these days.
He is the hot one.
He's young. These kids are young. You think he's hot?
Okay. Look wise, yeah. I mean, he's good. So good. I think he
throws the ball into tight windows and he's really
excellent.
Improvises.
I do think he's hot. You know what?
You know what? Own it.
All right, fine.
Own it.
He's hot. He's hot as shit. Okay,
he's not Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's be honest.
Oh.
You don't know who that is.
I can't remember who that is.
He's like Tom Brady if Tom Brady didn't wear
Uggs.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. Okay.
All right. Tom Brady's got a dumb chin dimple. I'm not a fan of it.
He kind of looks
he's a doofus.
He looks like a doofus. Honest, yeah. He really does.
He's a doofus, right? But he's like a mimbo. It's Seinfeld is a male bimbo, a mimbo.
You can't argue.
He can't argue because he doesn't have the brain power to argue.
Please, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
all right,
fine.
Let's get out of here. Are we done? Did we cover it all? Know. I feel like we got it.
You always say that. I feel like we got it. Who knows? People need to tell us what we missed.
You know what? How about this?
Mostly
I think we left a bunch on the table, and we're just going to end the episode now. How about that?
You know what?
Is that better?
I'm okay with it because this is a fly-by-night operation.
It is fly-by-night. Merch is coming, guys. Stay with us.
Promises.
I know. It is.
You know what it would be convenient for? Father's Day. I would have really liked you to gift me some merch.
You know what? I'll give you the shirt off my back, Mike.
I'm good with it.
Are you sure?
I prefer my shirt.
Okay.
What is that thing?
It's a shirt. It's a short sleeve shirt.
But what are the items on it? Like a pineapple in a grocery cart?
Yeah, it's like
it literally makes 0 sense.
It's it's
grocery
a summer
cart?
patterned shirt of some kind.
I'm pretty sure I see a grocery cart on there, or maybe it's a saxophone. Oh no, you know what it is? It's a drink with a straw in it.
Yeah.
I take it back. It is summery.
Exactly. I'm sorry I couldn't find my 3/4 length baseball T-shirts from 1980.
You grew up in England. They don't have baseball over there. In your face.
Ouch. I did play Little League,
back.
so don't worry about it.
All right.
Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much. I think we got it. But okay, so we want to make sure we keep the conversation going. We love that we got comments on
specific video, on specific episodes.
Yeah.
The Facebook group, which is really dying on the vine. If anybody wants to be an admin of that thing, because it's just another outlet, I can't handle it. I got too much not going on with my unemployment.
Yeah.
Listen to the podcast every which way.
Get emails going
everywhere.
Too. Maybe an email.
Yeah. Well, I send out I usually make a blog post out of each episode, but if you're not subscribed to my blog, you won't get those.
Okay.
So I should create a new newsletter. Which, you know what?
That could be good.
How about I'll do that when you get the merch running?
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
Tit for tat.
Sounds good.
And go to Patreon.
Yeah, help us. That would be great. We really appreciate it. It just also helps us because advertising is a tricky business these days, and we love getting support because we would love to keep doing this and doing more of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's some things I'd change.
Yeah.
Your wardrobe.
Look at us.
Wow, we're really syncing up.
On the same page.
Yeah, we've come a long way, Pete.
We have indeed. Okay, everybody.
We have indeed. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right, take care.
I don't know why you would still be watching This Isn't a Marvel Movie, no matter how much I look like Paul Rudd, which you can deny it all you want. It's there. In the eyes, I think. I'm young looking like him. If you enjoyed the podcast, which you obviously did or you wouldn't be listening still, sign up on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you want to listen to. Comment here on YouTube, subscribe, hit that like button. We want to hear from you. Comments, questions, dirty jokes, money, all the money you can give us. We'd love it all. Catch you next time.